How y'all doing today, man? I'm sorry for not uploading last week. So what ended up happening was, if you don't already know, I live on the East Coast of Texas. I go to school out here. Basically, on Monday at like 11:30, they basically told me to leave because there was a hurricane coming. So I was gonna do this before. I promise you, I was gonna do the video on Tuesday, but I'm just now getting back here today. You know, got a little settled. The Wi-Fi's not even on. I'm doing this off the hotspot. So yeah. But anyways, y'all really don't care about that. But today we have an artist by the name of Redveil with his album titled Niagara. Now, I've been aware of him for quite a while, probably about 4 months, 5 months. I really enjoyed that track he put out that was titled, was it Soul Food? That's right up my that's right up my alley. I really enjoyed that. Like I did. It was cool. You know, really cool. Nice soulful beat behind it. You know, nice little vibe to it. Nice little vibe. So we're gonna go ahead and get into this album. So without further ado, let's get into it, man.
We take this shit straight to the paint. We about 20, come and take it from us. You not gonna save it from us. Ripped to death like guillotine, I know I'm not gonna fumble. Plenty happens, I done crushed, I kick that shit off to the rubble. No more petty for me, nigga. We gon' get it off the muscle. You dead, yeah. You dead, yeah. We gon' get it off the Look, I said, they gravitating cause I got a knack. I'm up on their neck till I got me a plaque. We eating good, I run up a sack. I'm spending this shit cause I'm getting it back. Up off of generosity and bled. Still hit a Brian and take me a flick.
So I thought that track, cool, nice little intro. I think the mixing probably could have been better, but I do have in mind that you kind of done this all by yourself. But yeah, you know, nice little intro track. Thought it was cool. You know, we're going to go ahead and go into the second track, which is called Wait. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Tell myself I ain't feeling away. I can't far from accepting defeat. Me did that with the blood on my face. We done shit every till we can read. Watch them wearing they heart and they sleeve. My shit don't even come out the fleas. Niggas don't even pay no mind. That shit is supreme. That and the left ears, my culture the blueprint. No fuck with the BS, I'm doing my best. They watch, don't even give it a rest. They tell what's time, why they try to flex. I'm still the same nigga needing my space. This shit be evil, but look good in the face. They half-hazard, but I'm keeping my pace. They half-hazard, but I'm I remember when I was 11 and watching my blood on the TV get spilled out. Now I got a little older, no love for the system, and I'm reaching back for the grip now. And it's really fucked 12, I done grown on my to the point I can see that they hate us. All these white niggas born on the web with that woman and price and they know they won't fade us. If you're not getting money, then shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear what you gotta say.
So I'd say so far, I really felt this way when I heard Soul Food. I really felt this way when I heard Soul Food. As far as like Veil sound like Earl Sweatshirt. Kind of. As far as his tone, he sounds like Earl. As far as him having like just a deeper voice, he sounds like Earl. But it's kind of, like he sounds like Earl. Like as far as his tone, he sounds like Earl. Now his beats are better than Earl's. As far as me just enjoying it, it's better than Earl. Cause Earl, I don't know what Earl be rapping over. Like, I don't know what happened because this album so far is extremely experimental as far as having different sounds and putting them together. But I mean, and Earl does the same thing. Earl is extremely experimental, especially now with his previous project. He's been extremely experimental. But it don't work for Earl. It doesn't work. And I don't know why he does that. But with this, It's extremely experimental, but it is still enjoyable, if you know what I mean, right? And as far as his lyrical capability, he's not anywhere close to Earl Sweatshirt. I'm not comparing that. I'm just saying as far as tone, I can see where the comparison is. And I thought about that the first time I heard him. But we're going to go ahead and get to the next track, which is called Bad News. So without further ado, let's get into it, man.
Hey, we back, bro. Yeah. Look, watch the way I maneuver to keep patience. Used to resent all this pigment, now we erasing shit. Niggas trying to be vultures, they not erasing shit. No DBKs to Genesis, niggas facing the jab, they think they intercept, they tracing my steps. It's different paths, we breathe different breaths. We not the same, but fuck with the rest. Around the go, bro, we fuck with the best. I got the key, how I'm acing the test. We soon solidified. It's just trial and error, no way to do it right. I turn the TV on, see my brothers vilified. Turn it off, find another dignified. Niggas got the limit, all blowing not the ceiling, my nigga. I said my team prosper, we can't lose. They try to hit my line, looking for the clues. All haters news, niggas bad news, bro. Yeah, I said niggas bad karma, niggas bad luck, man. Never touch the chrome, but said it suck if it's stuck. We see the facade, give it up, bells. 500, got it ready to go. And my niggas can't fade it, got them ready to blow. And they 5500, got them ready to go. And my niggas can't fade it, got them ready to blow. Yeah.
So I think Bad News was a nice change of pace. For this record, I thought it was a nice change in pace. I thought the subject matter was cool. 5500, didn't necessarily care for that track. The feature didn't necessarily care for him either. It kind of sounded like the two of you were kind of lost within the beat. So I didn't necessarily care for that track, but we're going to go ahead and move on to the next track, which is called Revolutions, featuring Junai. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. Not really. But we're going to go ahead and go to the next track. So without further ado, let's get into it.
My niggas breaking down institutions. I said you got it. Cause God, I couldn't spot they pocket. Watching on my shit, I watch it. Thinking like a plot. We too sick, nigga, bite the snot. It's corny niggas trying pop, trying bite the star. Fruit flies in their midst, they lie. My nigga, they searching for me like it's Firefox. I'm in the cut. If you catch my demons on the block, it's how I sell the sub.
I drew this back to the board on some hieroglyphic shit. How your ass it drop your favorite rapper into their casket. I mean that on some wicked shit. Honest in real life and honest on the internet. Fuck if I offend you, I mean that shit to the T. I said, look if I come in and I'm swinging and set your dome. Stay leaving where I reside cause I'm nervous to have a home.
Fuck it up, I don't need introduction. 2020 we up, but it's nothing. All my niggas outside of the function. It ain't money, there ain't no discussion. Child can't even develop production. In the crib, child running the crib. In the stocks, I don't got me. I disappear, all black. Ski mask gon' cover my head, so they say that we in the clear. Fall back, I stay off the grill, let's be making up play for a bigger shit. All that, my man carry cannons like kids from Mariah. Ain't shit to fear, niggas know I pop off my cruiser. Last fist, I don't fuck with no Ku Klux. Pussy boy talking shit, he don't do much. Spread this shit out his mans if he move up. I'm outside for that back, had to grab the dough. Photosynthesis right, cause I had to grow. Roasting the
So I think those last two tracks, I think Revolutions might be the best track on this album so far. It might be. Clinch, I thought Veil to me, I don't think you did enough on that track. I just don't think you did enough. I don't think you did enough. Chris Patrick did a good job. He rode the beat like he was supposed to. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the next track, which is called Grass, featuring Cameron Bolden. So without further ado, let's get into it, man.
I just want me something I can feel. It's like my thoughts are chopped up in my head. A lone wolf on this trail is Redveil. I'm maneuvering through the fake to the bread. Fake nigga flesh.
Starry nights like these got me looking at the moon. Think about how when I left I said I'd come home soon. And now I'm home and I just hate it. I wonder if it's faded. I was only born to fade it. What's the cost of what you make? No stress. 2 breaths, 1 step. What do you regret? Tell me how you feel. You don't look upset. What did you forget? Me? Shit. Well, I forget a time and the past a couple, so I tossed it off so I could run late. That was dumb. Be back inside by sundown. Got a couple fans with me, but still ain't got no funds now. Don't play this when you high. Only play this on to calm down. Lost my elevation, chasing fame. What do I want now? I rap about my.
Ain't nobody ever show me through the fast lane, nigga. Gotta get it off the muscle, this a rap race, nigga. Representing your socket, you a last place, nigga. Sad case, rap shooter in a ras place, nigga. I done put my years in before I turned 16. I'm an old soul, all this weight don't put it out of me. Drop a melly and go missing, all these niggas proud of me. That shit all I ever wanted, but my thoughts surrounded me. I'm a fucked up, try and get the fuck. All these bad habits got me running out of luck. I'm a run from the loft, they see my skin and I'm stuck. My pain and commodity when these whiteys hit in the sun. I don't really got a will, I just got a will for these bucks. Ain't got no love for the system, so we try and interrupt. This pushing still like a piston, these niggas about to give up. I'm waiting for intermission, they slipping, I'm running up. And it's still fuck 12 for my niggas in the grave. With a cash out, bro, we try and get paid. My niggas love the bread, yeah, we looking for a play. I don't fuck with y'all, bro, I'm trying to get away. It's still fuck 12 for my nigga last place, nigga. Side case, rap shooter in a ras place, nigga. Yeah. Side case, rap shooter, yeah. But side case, rap shooter in a ras place, nigga. Bitch.
So I enjoyed those 2 tracks. Grass, I enjoyed that track. Fastlane, I really enjoyed that track. So we're gonna go ahead and go to the next 2 tracks, which are called. The first one's called Drown, featuring Dante Thomas and Damari Harris. The next one is called Pigeon Man. So without further ado, let's get into it.
I got a few sensations, like without you from my euthanasia. Used to make excuses till I make inclusion. It was human nature, really, who could hate y'all? Me, honestly, you gotta bow with me. It's like you with my head, the bottom me, you know about me. We don't gotta be, we gotta spend some taste, and you know talk is cheap, so I eat all of my mental. Implant gentle, thinking at the time we done been through. How we got time, you know time is essential. This time I'm 5 times simple, cut off the hose. You know I ain't into none of these game nights, me keep playing between my flame, and I'm telling I told you we go. What's this to a soul? You say you got the eye, but I ain't got the bull. Unless you got the time, and I ain't got to lose. Stick me in my eye, I'm trying to feel the truth. Yeah, I ain't got no time to waste, ain't no time to waste. Birds outside my window, put you on my mind today. Let me find my way, I just haze on me. They try to smoke me up, but it ain't even phasing me. Nigga, I'm free, one more time, better give me that fee. Gotta earn this doing that shit not free. You ain't never blend, boy, you ain't my bleed. Yeah, just the dreams I can't see. Yeah, everything changing for the game, we on everybody feet. Yeah, never stop to the game eat. Yeah, never stop to the game eat. Why? You was living all inside my head. I ain't never felt more alive. Niggas really never touch some bread. Yeah, every got your wife. Getting different when you read my life. Feeling like I'm running out of time. Seconds going faster cause you're mine. Seconds going faster than my mind. If you, I keep my head on the swivel for the dumb shit. These niggas hungry, so is we. Niggas to the X, I know that nothing really free. Yeah, how I live, nigga, that's just how it be. Yeah, said shit stop me in my tracks for the day. End of the day, all what we craving is love. Traded my sanity for validation, needed the hug. I'm slipping, falling, pick me up. I'm coming back, you the plug. The one that Mari saying love is a drug. I ain't believe him, now I'm trapped in a cell.
Look, right. By the way, one of y'all was saying to turn my mic up. The mic don't work, my guy. The mic don't work. The mic don't work. It's been at least 10 to 15, maybe 20 videos since my mic's last been working. So you know what you could do? You could politely slide on my Twitter and just be like, hey, here's some money for a microphone. But anyways, that's just a side note. But Veil, so you got 10 tracks. Niagara was 10 tracks long. I believe it was, 24, 25 minute was the runtime. I think the album is okay. It's okay. It's an okay album. I think the album has a lot of vibes. Really something that you can just play in the background, while you folding clothes or something. On like a nice Saturday morning. You could fold some clothes. Maybe you washing dishes, you have this playing in the background, playing in the ambience. It'd be cool. It would really be cool. I think the thing that is holding this album back from me saying that it is a good album as opposed to an okay album is the mixing. It's just the mixing. But I thoroughly understand that you recorded, mixed, and mastered this album all by yourself in your room, in your closet. Like, dude is 16 making this type of music. So I'm not going to be too harsh on him. Because at 16, first of all, at 16, who's making this? If you're 16, right? Because a lot of people nowadays, like, I'm 19, by the way. Just turned 19 the other day, by the way. But that's a plug. That's a nice little plug. Anyways, at 16, dudes are really trying to sound like everybody else. They're trying to sound like Uzi. They're trying to sound like Cardi. They're trying to sound like all these people, whereas Veil sounds like himself. He has his own distinct sound. Now, earlier on in the video, I was saying that he sounded like Earl Sweatshirt. However, I was saying that as far as his tonality, he sounds like Earl Sweatshirt. But he's not a carbon copy of Earl Sweatshirt, other than the fact that he's experimental in his samples a good amount of the time. And even then, there's some samples on here that are just smooth samples, just smooth R&B samples that I just enjoy. But like I said, the thing that's holding this album back from being good is that I think just some of the mixing just could have been better. That's it. Another thing is that it's like he would have these beats on there. I don't want to say this to be condescending or anything. He had some beats on there to where, like Soulful, for example, it was like, it's almost like I'm listening to it for the beat and not him, if that makes sense. And they're like, it's just, you don't sound fully present on some of these tracks. You just don't sound fully present. Like, you don't sound fully there. Like, oh, I'm here. I'm listening to these tracks specifically for the instrumentals. So, I think that is the thing that is holding this album back from being a good album. But for you to be 16 making this type of music is a really good sign. Really good sign. Because like I said, a lot of people are just trying to sound like everybody else, but you're in your own lane. You're in your own lane. And I gotta talk about Melon. I gotta talk about the situation that had happened I think yesterday. I think it was yesterday, or it might have been the day before. I don't know. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. Like I said, there was a hurricane, so I wasn't even thinking about my channel. You know what I mean? So but I got to talk about the thing with Melon. I think it was people wanted him to react to this record, which he did, but he didn't want to. And then he gave his opinion, and then people were mad. And so he spewed out all these tweets and things like that. And I'm not gonna lie, when I seen it, I was like, wow, he's really 34, 35, talking about a 16-year-old. That's what I thought he was talking about, right? Did a little more digging before I react to this project, and come to find out, it was purely just to the people that were mad at him, which is crazy. Like, bro, okay, he cannot like a project. It's cool. Don't like the project. I don't know why people are so. I don't know why you niggas are weird. Just because he say he don't like it, don't mean like, oh man, like I wish him the worst. Like, nah, not at all, not at all. And I seen that he apologized, so that is cool. But had to get that off because you niggas are weird. I don't know. You niggas are weird. Like, just because he say he don't like it doesn't mean, it don't mean nothing. So with Veil, I think this album is cool. I will definitely play this album though. Don't get that wrong. You have some joints on here, my guy. Veil, you have some joints on here. You really do. You have some joints on here that I'm gonna go back and play. Wait, what was that joint? Okay, Campbell, wait. Campbell, wait. Bad News, definitely need that. Revolutions, yeah, need that. Fast Lane, need that. Drown, you. To be honest, me not even thinking about the mixing, right? You shooting 6 of 10, easy. 6 of 10. You shooting 6 of 10 from the field. 6 of 10, maybe 7 of 10 from the field. So I enjoyed this record for the most part. Like I said, I think it could have been better, but you're going in the right direction. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Hopefully the next project is not held back in any way, shape, or form. I hope you continue to find that distinct sound and just make good music. So tell me what you think about this in the comment section below. Leave a like if you like, subscribe if you like, hit the bell for post notifications. I have some videos around my head that I would like for you to check out and get into. Tell your auntie about me if you do nothing else. So, Redveil, FAYGOS. Till next time.